Are LABUBUs demonic? LABUBUs are everywhere on the internet right now. Not only on the internet, everywhere around the world. The royal Thai family and governments, amongst celebrities, and also in banks, is literally prohibited from using LABUBUs to attract potential clients and customers. LABUBUs have gone wild. We will get into everything LABUBU related because this is
a global phenomenon and a little bit concerning.
It's crazy. It feels like everyone wants to get their hands on these little monsters. People are queuing up, people are losing their minds over it, people are losing sleep over it.
So they're saying that LABUBUs are possessed. I guess that means I'm probably like really f***ed, right?
People are fighting for this toy. But before we get started on today's episode, trigger warning.
This video includes a level of online research and is also shared from a personal, religious, and spiritual POV. Some of the stories discussed may include supernatural or spooky elements. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, now that the disclaimers are out,
let's get started on today's episode.
They say every LABUBU has a spirit, but not all of them are friendly.
Oh my god!
So, for those that don't know what a LABUBU is, let me give you a short and sweet intro to what these little monsters are about. LABUBU is a mischievous, elf-like character created by Hong Kong artist Cassing Long in collaboration with the designer toy brand Pop Mart, part of the Monsters series. LABUBU being one of the most iconic and popular figures in that line. It's so freaking funny because apparently all the LABUBUs are all females, but they have a male leader, and the male leader is called Zimomo.
Zimomo.
These freaking names are hilarious. LABUBU, Zimomo,
Potato.
Tomato. Some critics online have said that these toys are demonic. Fans often comment on how eerie or uncanny some versions look, leading to spooky theories, stories, or jokes, especially on TikTok and in horror-themed content. LABUBU has also been compared and described as the funkier version of the Wild Things. You know where the Wild Things are, the illustrated children's book? What even is that thing? They're just called Wild Things, but they're called monsters, okay? LABUBU has also been compared to Pazuzu. These names are killing me. Zimomo, LABUBU, Pazuzu, falafel. The link between LABUBU and Pazuzu is rooted in a viral conspiracy theory that emerged in mid-2025. LABUBU, Little Whimsical Monsters, was originally inspired by Nordic folklore, particularly mischievous forest elves. However, as the characters gained popularity, some online communities begin to associate LABUBU with darker themes. I see a huge similarity between LABUBU and Pazuzu. I mean, like, they don't look 100% evil, like Chucky or Annabelle. Like, some people have compared LABUBU to Chucky and Annabelle and the Gremlins. But I do believe there is something off about LABUBUs. There is, and we'll get into it. To say LABUBU is the devil is a little bit far-stretched. I don't think that these things will cause like death or like paralyze children or hurt children. I wouldn't go that far to say like they're evil, but I do think they're mischievous. They have like the same vibe as like, I guess like the Gremlins. You know that horror movie made for children back in the days, like the Gremlins, or like Chucky is a bit too intense. I wouldn't say it's that evil, but like they're mischievous little elf, little monsters, little pranksters. These are the words used for LABUBUs. They have a little smirk, and a lot of people and fans of LABUBUs have said that they wanted to get LABUBUs because of that evil looking smirk.
Because they look cute, but they also look slightly evil.
I think that's why children or young people feel such a connection, because they look so innocent and slightly evil at the same time. I guess there's like a connection with that doll because of the two very polarizing sides, but in one, and you can obviously see it. So like, I wouldn't say they're evil, but I would say that they do carry an innuendo of like mischief or prankster vibes or little elven gremlin vibes. It's in there. Would I get my children one? No.
That's because Miss Wei Wei does not have children. But even if she did, it would be a big fat no.
The way that they smile and the way that they look, I personally, like, it's weird, but I just got drawn into it. I just felt an attachment almost immediately. I don't know what it is about it, but I can see how creepy it could get at nighttime. Like when it's placed in front of me and I fall asleep and it's looking at me. And there's like a special glare that they use, like some sort of glitter or like a reflective thing in their eyes. So some of them, their eyes can kind of change color really quickly under certain lighting. Their eyes are kind of like this and they're smiling. It's kind of like an evil, naughty looking, like a trickster smile. I personally felt drawn to it, but also uncomfortable at the same time. I don't know what it is, but that doll elicits a really weird combination of discomforting feeling and also obsessive feeling at the same time. It's really weird to explain. I wouldn't want one
because I know that I could get obsessed with them.
I wouldn't want one because I don't feel positive energy when I look at them. I feel like I want to be naughty. They bring out a side of you that I don't think it's a good thing to bring out. But then again, if you have complete control and you just have one and it's cute and you're not obsessed with them, like go for life. But with all of that being said, LABUBUs aren't the worst thing that has happened. There are worse things out there like drugs and alcohol and porn, right? They're not the worst, but because they're more marketed to the younger generation and to children, I would be a little bit careful. But it's like all things.
Don't get obsessed, right?
Oh, I believe it's story time. Come on, children.
These are some of the horror stories that I have found online. They are demonic. I was sleeping at 3 a.m. and I heard 3 loud knocks on my window. And I never ever experienced this before. Then my cousin brought up my LABUBU, and I know for a fact it attracted whatever knocked loud on my window. They say it represents demon gender Ruo, which is a prankster, and that just makes so much sense why it knocked on my window. Someone said, I have a story to tell. It's real. I ordered a LABUBU on Amazon. The LABUBU was cursed because I woke up extra early to get it. It was 4 a.m. and I saw a ghost. Around a few hours later, the LABUBU came on my front doorstep. I opened the box and it was a LAFUFU. I did not really like it, but it's okay. Ever since that happened, I have always felt like someone was always watching me. I got a lot of bad luck. At night, I put it on my desk and the next morning it was on the other side of the desk. Stay safe. Yesterday, I bought 3 LABUBUs. When I was sleeping at night, one of them wasn't in my room. I live alone in a house. I heard footsteps at night for no reason. Found little scratch marks on my sofas and furniture. My dog slept in my bedroom. He woke up at around 1 in the morning, alerting me about something and staring at my door. I was confused at first, but until I saw there were only 2 LABUBUs with a creepy smile at me. Their face expressions changed, and I don't know how. But all I knew was that my dog could sense something in my room. My windows was open. I left my door locked before I went to sleep, but found my door open, fully open and not locked. I was scared and I planned to refund. Tell me this is just a coincidence or if I'm cursed.
And these type of stories are everywhere online. Like some people say that you know, it's just a toy and they've never experienced it. And that might be someone's experience with these dolls, right? But a lot of people that do believe in like the more spiritual side, or maybe people that are more receptive with these type of things, might, I don't know, feel the energy more. I'm religious and I'm spiritual, so I believe it. I really do, because like if it was just one random person saying it, I'd be like, okay. But if it's like a mass of people, like this is not, these 3 stories are just examples. There are thousands more online that I'm sure that you can go and read, and it's just crazy. It really is. Personal story time. This is about to get scary. Turn on your lights a little bit and get comfy under the blanket, because this is about to get a little wild. So like growing up, a lot of my friends were religious. A lot of my friends were either Catholic or Christian. My family is more Buddhist, or they're atheists. Like I am probably the 2nd person in my entire family to be Christian. Anyway, that's not the point. But a lot of my friends were like spiritual and religious, and they will always tell me stories. Like more than 4 or 5 female friends would tell me stories in high school where they woke up and they have scratches on them. And this story has nothing to do with LABUBUs, but it does in the sense of like these creepy paranormal activities. Some of them would wake up with like scratches on them and things like that, and they tell us stories in school the next day how it happened. Some people said that they had a dream and they woke up with scratches. Some people said that they saw stuff and they woke up with scratches, like these demonic energies around them. I'm getting goosebumps as I say this, and like I was always skeptical because it's never happened to me, which I felt kind of lucky. I don't know why, but maybe I wasn't so much attuned to it because I had like chronic ADHD as a child and teenager. I was never like aware. Maybe like my lack of awareness kind of blessed me in a way. I don't know, but I was just never aware of these things, and I was like far out. Like I was never the person to experience these like cool, I guess, stories. Not that they're cool. Now thinking back, like God bless these girls, right? Like it's not a cool story, but I was never the person that experienced these or had these crazy stories to tell. And I was never the person that, you know, or the lucky person that won a giveaway. Like I was just never that person. I just felt like the normal person that was just a bystander that listened to people's stories and was like, damn, I wish something cool happened to me. I have a cool story. It's one of those stories that you're like, okay, I believe everyone else's story because it's happened to me. This only happened a few months ago. I'm a Christian. I was recently baptized. Also, speaking of baptism, I posted on my vlog channel. Make sure to follow and subscribe to my vlog channel. Yes, I am softly promoting my channel in the midst of this story, so go subscribe right now. Otherwise, I won't tell you guys the story. I'm gonna gatekeep the coolest story that you'll ever hear in your entire life.
Now that we've all subscribed to my vlog channel,
Back to the story.
My mother isn't Christian. My mother's Buddhist. Buddhism and Christianity is so different. She's more spiritual than religious, right? And my mom is into like the fortune telling, the palm reading, the face reading. If anyone knows anything about Christianity, is that you can't do face reading or palm reading or any sort of fortune telling or star signs or these things that try and predict your future, because like God will protect me through life and guide me, and to know your future is kind of like a cheat code. It's like you don't trust. It's coming from a place of fear or curiosity outside of God's protection, right? So like there are reasons why those type of things should not be touched by a Christian, but I was quite curious at what my mom had to say, and I was just listening to her telling me about palm reading. This is where it gets weird. Like my mom doesn't mean any harm. She just wants to share it with me. This was not my mom's fault, but a little voice inside my head was like, okay, just tell your mom that you're Christian now. She knows you're Christian. She respects my religion. Just tell her you're not interested. So I listened and it got me curious, but I did say, Mom, I think it's best that we leave this story, because my mom was kind of suggesting palm reading in a way, and she was suggesting for me to send her a photo of my palm. So I kind of cut her off, but I wasn't like, no, I'm never, ever, ever doing this. It was more like, Mom, let's just leave it and let's revisit it another day because I just don't feel comfortable right now talking about this. But that curiosity that my mom said about my future and how she can get my palm read, like it made me curious. There was a level of curiosity because it's really tempting. I'm sure a lot of people have wondered what their future was going to be, and apparently my mom has this app or like this thing that she's found where it can give you like a really accurate reading. Anyway, I said no, but I was curious and I was thinking if I should do it or not. So it was left like ambiguous. This is where it gets weirder. This is where it gets scary. That night I fell asleep, and I don't get sleep paralysis. Maybe when I was like a teenager. I haven't had sleep paralysis in so long. That night after my mom offered me the palm reading and when I was curious, that night I had sleep paralysis and it was so scary. I can still remember what happened, okay? So I was lying in my bed. This is what happened. Okay, so I was lying, oh, actually it was more like this. Sorry, it feels like I'm stalling the story, but I'm not. I want to build it up and give you guys a cool story. I was sleeping like this. And if anyone has ever had a sleep paralysis, it's literally like you're sleeping and you know you're sleeping and you know it's a dream, but you're awake. It's just crazy. And the thing is, you can't do anything about it. You are not in control. Sometimes maybe you are, but most of the time you're likely not. That's why it's called a sleep paralysis, right? Felt like I was awake, but at the same time I knew I wasn't awake. I was lying down and I was just looking at my room. Nothing creepy happens. I look to my right. I get goosebumps as I say this. Like, imagine a hand like this, but it looked like a branch or like a dead arm, and shrunken, it looks like a sultana. Like, it has the texture of a sultana and skinniness and longness of a tree branch. And it was just like the fingers were so long and it was just doing this, and it came crawling from the right side of my bed. This long, branchy, wooden looking sultana looking hand, and it goes like this, and I can see it. And it goes like this, and it presses on my stomach, and it goes, and then I go, and then I wake up, and the sleep paralysis ends. That is the coolest story that I have. I'm trying to talk to you guys. The palm was grabbing me. The spirit was grabbing me and luring me of wanting me to get my palm read. And I didn't want it, but it was coming for me. It was literally temptation. And then I called my mom, and my mom freaked out. Like, my mom knew exactly what I was talking about. And I was like, Mom, I told you, I'm Christian. Some of these spirits are coming for me. It's making me curious. It's tempting me. We need to stop, Mom. You have to listen to me. This is getting serious, because last night was like a spiritual type of thing. And my mom knew exactly what I was talking about. It was over the phone, and I felt fear in my mom's voice. She was like, okay, I know exactly what you mean. I will stop. This will be the last time that you hear it. And she's never brought it up again. Because my mom just knew, like, she's not Christian, but she just knows, I guess, the power of it all. Despite our differences as mother and daughter in our religious journey and our beliefs, we still love each other, right? But she knew immediately and she backed off. The point of this story is that, first of all, I have one of the coolest horror stories. No, but I believe this. When people say stuff like this, I don't want to ignore. Like, if I have children in the future, or like if my sisters or siblings or friends come to me now with these stories, I will never disregard them as something to do with them being schizophrenic. You know how some people be like, you're schizophrenic, or like, you need help. Like, I would never disregard someone's story like that, because I believe in the power of spirits. Whether if they're good or bad, they're powerful or weak, I believe in it. Yeah, I just want to put my story out there. So, amen. Thank you, God, for protecting me from that. Do with that information what you will, but I do recommend be careful when you touch or practice or buy certain things, not just the LABUBU, anything. Be careful, because so you should have standards in the human world, right, in the physical realm. You should also have standards in the spiritual realm. It's like air. You can't see it or feel it, but you need it.
and it's there. Same with all these spirits and stuff, these demonic spirits or good spirits. You can't see it or touch it like air, but it's there. And it can affect you a lot because you can breathe in good air and bad air, toxic air, and it can affect you. Same with these spirits. It's really freaking important. Everything is a spiritual welfare when you become so aware of all of these things. So yeah, look after yourselves, guys.
Stay safe in these streets.